first year. Us and Choate are the only two undefeated teams in prep teams. So, close things up today with a W. And should be looking at a one game next week. But gotta get things done today. So this is the live.
Yeah, they usually will start that about 5 I think when the clock hits,
So maybe in about
Check, check. Check, check.
their seniors. While it is the senior game and the last of the regular season, it is also a game where the Big Red can lock up a playoff berth in a net sack bowl for the first time in their history. Proctor has been to 3 bowl games over their time, but is out of the picture this year with a 4-3 record. It will look to play spoiler on SBS's so far perfect 6-0 season here today. We'll wait for the coin flip. St. Paul's has gone back to their locker room. Proctor's still out there with their last few practice plays. I'll fill you in on the officials for today's game. The referee is Mo Bilodeau. The umpire is Dave Dickinson. The linesman Dan O'Neill. Line judge Andy Hartery. The back judge is Tim Leaf. And the side judge is Bill Meisel. Very excited here. This 1 3 minutes still on the clock. Last game for both teams. A big win for St. Paul's over another Evergreen Clements division in Berkshire. They won that one 7-6. John Sacklad had the only score running the ball in. Last game for Proctor was a victory over New Hampton by the score of 39-29. So both teams coming off a win and feeling pretty good about their end of their season so far. Nothing is certain, but the chances of St. Paul's getting into a bowl game right now are pretty high, at least from their respective big games around next today. So, 2 games in the Class A race. Avon taking on Salisbury at 7 p.m. down in Connecticut. Noble and Grinnell facing Milton at Nobles. Nobles is 6-1. They're trying to lock up the playoff as well. Possible opponent for St. Paul. So the Class C in that whole game. Both teams, of course, win today. And St. Sebastian's and Thayer, both teams 6-1. St. Sebastian's right now looking at a playoff spot. Thayer in a must-win game there as well. That one started at 10:30 this morning, interesting enough, at St. Sebastian's. The Nobles game versus Milton was at 1 p.m. today. Proctor heading off towards the goalpost. They're going to begin their pregame talk. Once again, as I mentioned, St. Paul's is in their locker room down to our left. The field house also serves as the headquarters for the country teams and track and field here in the springtime. Outdoor conditions right now. It was cloudier earlier today. Now we see the blue skies sort of coming up. Still chilly. Very thankful to be up here in the nice press box today, out of the wind, which is really supplying most of the cold today, although it is cold to begin with. 40 degrees out right now. The wind chill, though, feeling like 31 as a result of that 17-mile-an-hour wind blowing out of the west, northwest. That's why it's so cold coming out of the north. A march out of the field to our left. And we out of the end zone. They'll be wearing the red jerseys. Proctor in there visiting whites. They are on the far sideline while St. Paul's is over here on the near. St. Paul's led by John Sacklad and Robert Parada onto the field right now with all the big red coming behind. To our right, Proctor down by their goalpost still. Wrapping up their pregame cheers. So the captains will meet at the 50-yard line. The captains for St. Paul's, Marshall Mather, Daniel Mirzai, and John Sacklad. Whereas for Proctor, it's Ezra Jennifer, Eric Nemirovsky, Henry Betchak, and the fourth captain is Jack Walker. Officials currently going over the rules on the St. Paul sideline right now. Fans trickling in on this one. All games around St. Paul starting at 2 p.m. today. That includes JV field hockey, varsity field hockey, both taking on KUA. Volleyball in the gyms, JV and varsity versus Middlesex. Boys varsity soccer on the road versus Brewster with the JV squad as well. And girls varsity playing Southfield down in Massachusetts. Also want to give a big shout out to the St. Paul's cross-country teams. They are down at Avon Old Farms today. They're participating in an knapsack tournament. All the captains are now walking towards the center of the field, and our coin toss is set to begin here. Players shake hands, and we will await the result as of now. 12 minutes on the clock for the first quarter. And looks like we've got a result. St. Paul's will be receiving, and they'll be going from right to left with the ball. Proctor will be kicking away. They'll be going from left to right. Not sure who actually won the coin toss, but that is the result of the coin toss. And St. Paul's will get the ball first. So glad to have you along. It was actually snowing about 15 minutes prior to game time. We had a few flurries. Blue skies now as we get set to go. St. Paul is showing off some pre-game pageantry there. Proctor is now on the field. So here we go. And it is Joey Corcoran and Malcolm Bussey back to receive for St. Paul's. I believe the kicker for Proctor will be George Hildner. When we get set, the officials blow their whistle. And here we go, folks. Hildner's kick. It is up and away. Down to the 20-yard line. Two St. Paul's players crashing in to get it. And look out here. Here goes Sleeman. And he gets through all the way to cross the 50-yard line down to the 45. And that's where St. Paul's will begin their drive. Sleeman stepped in front of Corcoran to catch that one. And initially I thought that would impede his run up field. It did not, though. He carried it all the way from the 20 to the 45. That's a 35-yard run for Sleeman. And we're set to go. QB Parker McQuarrie out there on the field right now. His center is Will Scheiber. Sacklot switching sides as the handoff goes to Marshall Mather. Senior running back for St. Paul's. He stumbles and falls. That'll be good for, I think, actually a loss of one. Indeed, so this will be 2nd and 11 for SPS. No one will be credited there with the tackle for Proctor. Field conditions, we've seen quite a bit of rain the past couple days, so we wouldn't be surprised to see it a little bit muddy out there right now, and maybe that plays into a bit about the run game for either side. Both teams rely heavily on that. With a fake here, but the flag is up in the air right now. McQuarrie was heading back forward. He faked it to Mather, still on the field again, but looks like it is a false start against St. Paul, so that'll knock him back another 5 yards. This will be 2nd and 16 now from the Big Red 49-yard line. 2 plays into this one, 11 minutes on the clock. St. Paul's and Proctor. We have a timeout on the field. St. Paul's assessing their first time out of the game here early in this one. Just over a minute in. As I mentioned, both teams relying quite a bit on the running game for St. Paul's. Marshall Mather and Malcolm Bussey are the 2 running backs over the past 4 games. Malcolm has had 43 carries and Marshall 29. Meanwhile, McQuarrie in those 4 games has had only 36 passing attempts and 3 touchdowns off the throw. He hands the ball off here again, and it's Mather charging up. He might have just made it to the line of scrimmage. Only about a 4 or 5 yard gain there. Or 3rd down coming up. St. Paul's lining up on the left hash marks of the field right now. Mather still out there for this play. 10:20 on the clock to our left. Switching sides across the field there was Sleeman, but we have another flag on the play, and it's going to be another false start against St. Paul's. So penalty troubles here early. That's 2 on this drive for St. Paul's, and after about the 6 yard gain or 5 yard gain by Mather, they're right back where they started from. Maybe even in a worse position than they started from, actually, now that it's 3rd down. And they're going from their own 47, actually. 3rd and 12. Sleeman switching on the play again. He's lined up to the left side. Pass back, here's McQuarrie in the pocket, hanging on. He gets hit, throws it left side. It is out of bounds, unable to be caught there by Sleeman, who is the intended target, I believe. That'll bring up 4th down, so St. Paul's will hustle off the field, and here comes the kicking team. Proctor got some help from the St. Paul's side to stop them on the first drive with 2 penalties there. But they do force it out. And onto the field comes Ty Hoey. He is the punter for the Big Red. Good punt there by Hoey. Picking up the ball at the, looks like the 15-yard line is Terrell Brown. He gets hit right away. No gain on the return. And Proctor will start from deep in their own end. They send out Henry Betchak as their quarterback. Center is John Cupperthwaite. So 1st and 10 from exactly the 20. I thought it might be the 19. That's here down in distance here, 9:44 on the clock. Still 0-0 between St. Paul's and Proctor. It is a run left side. Just above the line of scrimmage. I think that was maybe Jennifer with the run over there. Couldn't see the jersey number on that one. No gain, or actually, sorry, 5 yard gain on the play. They did move the line marker, my bad. It is a handoff and a run right side. Here's Nemirovsky. He got a block or 2, and he's close to the first down. Did he get it? Is he close to the first down? Maybe my eyesight. Oh, he is. And he's not going to get it. Just 2 yards short there. Nemirovsky on the handoff from Betchak. That's a 5 yard run for him. This will be 3rd and 2, it looks like. St. Paul's defense already ready. Proctor breaks huddle. Looking to convert on their first drive and get the first down of this one. Another pitch left side. That's Jennifer, and he got it, it looks like. Just a short 2.5 yarder by the senior captain Ezra Jennifer. He's a hometown boy from Andover, playing for Proctor, which of course is in Andover, New Hampshire as well. And he gets the first down of this one. They are on the 30-yard line right now. Here's Nemirovsky now. They trade the handoff, and Nemirovsky tossed over here to the right side. He'll pick up another good 5 or so yard gain for second down. By the way, for this Proctor team, they are listed at about, I believe it is 1, 2, they have 7 running backs on the team. So when you see that, you know they rely heavily on the running game. Only 3 wide receivers listed, so throughout this one you will see the ball on the ground for sure. That is exactly what we've seen here in the first drive. Second down for Proctor from their own 38. Terrell Brown, the wide receiver, out left. Another handoff, this one to Jennifer again. He's on the line of scrimmage, pushing forward there. He actually knocked back. That should be no gain for him. Oh, no, they're going to mark him just a yard ahead. So they move up to the 40-yard line now. Still 5 to go here, and a big third down for both sides. St. Paul's looking to get a stop. Proctor converted on third down last time with an Eric Nemirovsky run. They're looking to do that once again. Still have yet to see them attempt a pass. And it is a pass over here, right side, nobody even in the area. Running out there, looked like Oscar Bush. He was nowhere in the vicinity of that one, so that'll bring up fourth down. And it does not look like the kicking team is going to come on. The offense still out there as of the moment, though Proctor aggressive here early. They will go for it on fourth down from their own 40-yard line. 3 yards to go. And actually, never mind, they're in the kicking formation right now. And there it is. There's the kick. So that was my bad. They didn't make any changes on the play. Here's Corcoran receiving. There's a flag as Corcoran tiptoeing along the sideline. He got up above the 50. The kick was down by the 30. There is a yellow flag down to our right, though. If it's against Proctor, St. Paul's will be in the offensive half of the field to start for sure. We'll see, though. And it looks like it's against St. Paul's. So I'm not exactly sure what the call is here, but I believe it will be St. Paul's ball, but they'll have to start from maybe behind where the kick was initially caught. The holding call against the Big Red. They will begin on their own 15-yard line. Once again, I apologize for mistaking the kicking team for the offense. It is my first broadcast, so that's my disclaimer there. First football broadcast here, so you'll have to forgive me if I make a few mistakes. Run up the middle here by St. Paul's. Not much doing there. Oh no, they'll mark him farther than I thought he got. 6 yards on that one, so it'll be 2nd and 6. Or 2nd and 4. And here for the Big Red. Two tight ends in the back, and it's a handoff here to Bussey. He got blocked by one, still trying to come out the left side. He's mauled over there by 3 Proctor players and taken back. The furthest point he got was maybe just a yard north of the line of scrimmage. Oh, it will be short gain for Bussey and a short ways to go to first down for St. Paul's. 3rd and 2, still waiting for our first score of this one. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Here in Concord, New Hampshire. So glad to have you all along. Pitch back to Bussey again. He's going to try to run out the right side. He's got the first down. There's St. Paul's first conversion on the Malcolm Bussey run. He will mark him down at about the 23-yard line. The pitch from Macquarie converts. Quarterback gets the signal here. Well, play is coming from head coach Craig Vandersea. He's been here since 2008 for St. Paul's as their head coach. They'll line up on the right hash marks here. 3 spread out to our left. Or 2 spread out. Now Sacklad, who is over here on the left, will go towards the middle with Corcoran, the only guy. And now it is Bussey, who is lined up right next to Macquarie on that one. He took the handoff and made a short gain. Maybe about 3 or 4 there for Malcolm. Bussey and Mather, they will run short and long. They both have quite a few touchdowns to their name. Malcolm has 300-plus yard games. Can't have a 100-plus yard gain. Can't gain the whole field. I suppose you could. Here's Bussey again up the right side. He's knocked out of bounds at the 43. Once again, this will bring up 3rd down and short for St. Paul's. Proctor unable to get the stop the first time around. James Van Els will come off here for SPS. Daniel Mirzai, who also doubles as the PAT kicker for St. Paul's, will come on, and he'll line up on the right side. Corcoran, the other wide receiver, on the left, and Bussey out in the backfield behind Sacklad. Corcoran will switch sides. He'll go over there to the right now. That's where they're all lined up. It's the handoff to Bussey again. He drives through and has got his 2nd first down. So that'll move the change for the Big Red. Their 2nd first down of the drive after they were unable to get one on their first drive of the game earlier. 2:49 on the clock to our left. And Malcolm Bussey just one step at a time, pushing the Proctor defense closer to their own end zone. Right now it's closer to the 50-yard line. They're at about the 45. This is a pass, and Macquarie will heave one left side. Corcoran is all alone, and he's got it. Joey Corcoran is in the end zone. Touchdown, St. Paul's. They can kill you on the ground and in the air. That's a 55-yarder from Macquarie to Joey Corcoran, his leading receiver, and St. Paul's is up by 6. Great run there by Corcoran to get in behind the defense. There were 2 defenders behind, and one of them almost caught up to Corcoran at the end, but he pulled away. One look over his shoulder. Mirzai's PAT is good. He's only missed 1 all year. That's consistency for you folks. And St. Paul's is up by 1 touchdown. So after about 3 or maybe 4 or 5 actually consecutive runs there by Bussey, St. Paul's goes with their first pass of this one, and a long heave from quarterback Parker Macquarie, his 4th touchdown pass in the last 4 games. Kicking team out there right now. Daniel Mirzai will kick this one away. Ty Hoey with the punt to begin the game. Back to receive over there is Michael Daring. It takes a bounce over here. I don't know if did Proctor touch the ball. They did touch the ball. It took an awkward bounce down inside the 20-yard line. I thought it hit the ground, but it must have nicked off a Proctor player somewhere in the midst. Maybe I was just busy looking down at my sheet. I think I was. And you know what they say, you can't look away. Something just might happen, and it did right there. St. Paul's will get the ball right back. Right? Yes. How about that? After they go up by a score, they get in the red zone. Right on the kick. And here goes Bussy. He's got a bit of a lane down inside the 15-yard line. I think they're going to mark him around the 13, a yard short of the first down. Malcolm had some open space over there. And Paul's will make a change or two. Onto the field is Marshall Mather. Off is John Sacklad. Tight end for running back. They line up right next to, or they line up in somewhat triangle format. Bussy and Mather, and it is Bussy who gets the handoff, driving down to the goal line. He's just short and in there, but it'll be good for a first and goal for St. Paul's. Malcolm had a bit of momentum inside the 5. He went sliding down there. I don't know if he lost his footing or was tackled. He'll come off now, and Sacklad will come in. So St. Paul's with 2 running backs on the play. They faked it to Mather, who ran out the left side, and then Bussy ran up the right, had a few holes in the defense. So first and goal from the 5-yard line for St. Paul's. They spread 2 wide on the left. That's Corcoran and Van Ales. Corcoran will switch. He'll go over to the right now. Drive up the middle there for St. Paul's. Short gain. We're ticking down the clock here. 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. St. Paul's leads 7-0 on a Joey Corcoran touchdown. And they are knocking on the door here once again.
The kickoff's live, so when the ball's in the air on the kickoff, it's a live ball. It's not like a punt where if it touches the receiving team, it's a live ball. So you got to pounce on that ball, and that's what Proctor did there. I don't think they knew who was going to catch the ball, and it was just sitting there for St. Paul to pounce on.
Here's Mather with a run right. Just about a yard short there for St. Paul's. Chris Smith dropping in. He is our analyst for today's game, so thank you for clearing that up for me. I didn't really understand that one. Usually I'm thinking punt, but I...
Well, and I don't think the Proctor team knew what was happening there either. There was definitely some miscommunication. No one ran for the ball, and it was just sitting there, and St. Paul's jumped on that opportunity.
So we're at the end of the first quarter here right now, and that is why St. Paul's is in the position they are in after getting the first score from Corcoran. They are on the goal line here when we come back for this second quarter. Welcome back here, folks, to Guzzo Family Field. St. Paul's 7, Proctor 0. Here as we begin the second quarter. Joey Corcoran, the only score for St. Paul's on a Parker McQuarrie pass. They are right on the goal line here after a miscommunication by Proctor on a kickoff after that Corcoran touchdown. Couple runs has St. Paul's on the 1-yard line. Here's another run, and it looks like Mather is in there. Touchdown, Big Red. The player down after the play Mather ran in the right side, and one of the linemen, I can't see who exactly it is down and in some pain. Goes to the right hash mark there.
I can't tell who it is from here either. But just on the Marshall Mather touchdown, his whole career here, he runs downhill, he's wide, thick, and all game long, he will just put his helmet into the defense, and it tires him out. And we've got the 1-2 punch this year with Malcolm and Marshall, and it's a long day for any defense.
They have been pounding defenses, as we've seen it here. They will do the run, and then occasionally throw a pass in there. They get the running touchdown here. Those two guys get the majority of the handoffs. Well, they both get all the handoffs combined. But we're still here in the injury timeout. St. Paul's will be up by 13 as of the moment, and Mirzai will come on to attempt his 21st PAT.
Interesting weather day today. We had snow right before kickoff. We had rain all night last night. The sun's now out. A little windy, but it's definitely a beautiful day. But it's tricky for these athletes to come out and be in different weather patterns all day, not know what like cleats to wear or the gloves. The field looks like it's in great condition. We've been lucky to play a couple night games on our turf, so the field's looking better than ever. But it's definitely tricky to be out there.
Indeed, and it is cold, so when you're hitting players at with the power that these guys are, injuries are bound to happen. It looks like it was Andrew Mullins-Grant who is down there. He's being helped off now. Looks like he's going to walk off on his own accord. A little bit of jump in his step right now, and a rousing applause from the St. Paul sideline.
That's always a good sign when an athlete goes down like that and can come off on their own. It's probably not a big structural knee issue. I don't know if he'll come back the rest of the game. We'll have to check in on him. But that's a good sign for a possible bowl game next weekend that he's walking on his own feet.
Indeed, and he is one of the more important linemen here for St. Paul's, both on offense and defense. So out there for the extra point is Mirzai, and it's officially a 14-0 lead for St. Paul's. Corcoran and Mather with the touchdowns, and Proctor will get the ball, hoping not to make an error as they did last time. That's really just a mental mistake by Proctor. It ends up in the back of the end zone for the Big Red.
Very costly mistake there. That's 7 points that St. Paul would gladly take.
And it's now a 2-score difference rather than a 1-score game with Proctor getting the ball back. And we don't know, down the line, that could be a difference maker. And I know that's, we're early in the game, so that might not be something you're thinking about. Well, got plenty of time left, but errors like that can cost you. Here's I will punt this one away after making that PAT. We saw Ty Hoey. He had the kickoff. Mirzai's been out there for the last two. You can say his bounce on the kick really helped St. Paul's put that one in the back of the end zone. It's a run here by Proctor, and getting away is Brown. A hurdle up here on the left sideline over the 30-yard line. Mirzai was the kicker you went after Terrell Brown and got hurdled. That'll bring the Proctor offense onto the field for the second time. And only were able to convert once in that first drive. 11:50 on the clock here in the second quarter. And Proctor will be coming from right to left. The white jerseys, as I mentioned, it's a handoff and a run up the middle. Short gain on that one.
Very lucky there on that kickoff return. One or two tackles away from breaking that. And we talked about a big reversal there.
Yeah.
and have that turnover, and then almost break it for a return on the next one.
So special teams playing into this one right now. In a bit of an interesting way, maybe not one that is to be expected. There's not too much scouting that goes on special teams, so, at least on our behalf as broadcasters. So it's interesting to see how that's playing in right now. Another run right side. Carrying the ball is Jennifer on this one. And he pounds it up to what looks like the 43-yard line. It'll be third and 3, rather. For Henry Bitchock's offense. Henry, the quarterback from New London, New Hampshire. He's got also an interesting 1-2 punch of running backs. As I mentioned, they had the 7 on the roster, but 2 of them are captains, Jennifer and Nemirovsky, and they have been swapping handoffs all game. Both of them out there right now. This one is to Jennifer, and he's taken down for a loss. Jennifer lost his footing there at midfield.
Just got in past that first wave of blockers and made that great tackle.
Indeed. And we'll see if Proctor will punt here. 5 yards to go, and the ball is on the 35, or rather the 40. First down at the 45. And it does look like they're going to kick this one away. It's a high snap, but Betchock will get the kickoff, and it'll go all the way down, takes a Proctor bounce at the 30, and they will touch up right there. That's where SPS will start when they get the ball back. Corcoran was not even thinking about touching that one on the...
I think Coach Vandersee would have liked to see Joey get a little further away from that ball, so it didn't take a random bounce and touch him.
Good read there.
You hear Coach yelling poison, poison, and just get away. And unlike the kickoff, the punt is not a live ball, so they kick the team to the pounce on. It actually needs to touch the receiving team, which is what I think you were looking for on
Yes.
the kickoff. But yeah, Joey needs to get a little further away from the ball if he has no intention of picking it up.
Indeed, that ball was bouncing a little bit wildly. Corcoran out there right now. It is a handoff to him, actually. He tries to hurdle, and they got a flag coming in right after the play. He doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage. Interesting to see that. Joey Corcoran, wide receiver, taking the handoff. I don't know what the flag is going to be here. Looks like potentially a hold on St. Paul's, unless the penalty will certainly be on St. Paul's.
I don't know what he was doing there. He went right over. Trying to go down low.
Typically you go around and not over. Not the most efficient way to do that one. And that'll knock St. Paul's back quite a bit, actually. Their 10-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the St. Paul's 20-yard line. Yes, 20-yard line. 20 yards is a long way to go, folks, but the good news is they got 4 downs to do it. Good news for St. Paul's. They start with a handoff to Bussey. He powers through, remains on his feet. Here goes Malcolm Bussey up the right side, and he's going to go all the way. Breaks the tackle. He's down to the 10 and into the end zone. Malcolm Bussey, touchdown, St. Paul's.
Still running.
He just doesn't stop.
Well, just as you said, 20 yards is a long way to go. I was about to add that we have the personnel to get there. We'll certainly take 80. It's a nice run.
He didn't even take 4 downs either. Malcolm did it in one. He was just able to press through a wall of white jerseys and got quite a few good blocks there on the St. Paul's line. And this is quickly becoming a 3-score game. Proctor just getting their 11th guy on the field prior to the snap. Corcoran the hold, and the kick is good. So St. Paul's 21 and Proctor 0. Malcolm Bussey with the running score. Both running backs now have a touchdown for St. Paul's.
We've seen this storyline many times this season when St. Paul's gets up on big play and coach trying to run this clock. Hopefully get back to the locker room up 21-0.
And that is where that mental error on the kick will hurt for Proctor. Is it now St. Paul's has put some distance in between them and the Hornets. And it will be certainly more challenging to get back into this one. And it's dropped on the goal line there on the kick. He remains on his feet. Michael Daring kind of recovered a bit there. He made his way up to the 15-yard line.
Another touchdown saving tackle. These Proctor guys can break it. They have some power. We're seeing it. They can certainly put the points on the board. We're getting lucky with some last second tackles.
And to think that Daring nearly fumbled that ball on the goal line there and then recovered and punched a hole in the St. Paul's defense is an interesting thought. And went literally from goal line to goal line. Nonetheless, the Proctor offense out there right now, still waiting on their first score of the game, 21-0 here. St. Paul's leads it at home in the final game of the regular season. The win here for them locks up a spot in a bowl game next Friday or Saturday. The snap back, Betchak, he's going to pass up here, left side. It was just dropped by, looked like that was Terrell Brown on the receiving. Yes, it was.
There's two undefeated teams in New England Prep football right now. St. Paul shows perennial powerhouse, and it's not surprising they're undefeated. Some of the unofficial rankings that have come out through websites, Max Preps, for example, they have St. Paul's ranked ahead of some very big schools with PGs. Deerfield, for example, you would never see St. Paul's ranked ahead in the last 15 years or so of schools like that. And this is a very good team. It's undefeated. There's only two of us out there that are undefeated. This is the team to watch.
Big takedown over there for SPS. On the tackle was Jorge Perea. Yes, a Deerfield near third in the Central New England Football League, and just on the cusp of the top 5 in Class A. They're taking on Choate today in their final game of the season. It has been a headline year for St. Paul's in football. They are very proud of this program right now and the spot it is at going to a bowl game. There's Betchuk looking around. He pitches it off last second. Spinning around out there was Oscar Bush, and he is taken down for a big loss. And now it looks like that's maybe about a 10-yard loss. So after the 5-yard loss on the Perea tackle, it is now 15 yards to go, or maybe 11 yards to go to the line of scrimmage. Or the, well, the original line of scrimmage, I guess we could say. Technically, they're playing at the line of scrimmage.
Flag down in the backfield.
We'll see who this is going to be on.
I saw a flag and I see a timeout for St. Paul, so I don't know what's going on. Our next upgrade will be to get the rep. Wireless pipe. So announce to the whole stadium what's going on.
Building towards that.
That's right.
Be really useful for us.
We'll take a nice working scoreboard. Sound system comes next.
Scoreboard off to our left right now. Nice and big. You can these numbers. It's a lovely one.
Well, and the other big improvements coming to Kuzo Family Field are the light tower switch. We have cement footings for the lights are coming in. This will be one of the better fields around. Not too much.
Tell you, when those trees across the way are blooming in the, well, not blooming, but turning color in the really midst of fall. This one is a beautiful field. Certainly love being here. That's a wild snap. Betchak once again snares it in. He punts one up to the 40. Corcoran will take it from there. Here goes Joey Corcoran turning on the speed. Corcoran cuts inside, still going. Another cut back, and he's taken down inside the red zone where St. Paul's will take over at the 10. Special teams, once again, a thorn in the side for Proctor on the bad snap. Betchak had a long way to punt.
On St. Paul, so that will come back a little bit.
Yeah, so that'll move St. Paul's outside back towards where the punt was caught by Corcoran. At the 30-yard line. Flag knocks back Corcoran's run on that one. But yes, that wild snap once again on the punt there for Proctor. 6:57 on the clock. Here to go in the second quarter. This is Mather on the run. That'll be close to the first down, maybe. Nope. 5 yards. So he's right in the middle with 5 yards to go.
Clear from one foot. He can look across the field and see there's only 6 other white jerseys on the sideline. He's got 2 massive running backs who can search you all day long. He's just going to keep running down these guys' throats and tire them out. Get the halftime up comfortably.
Pound, pound, pound. I would agree with that 100%. Flags coming in here. Possible delay game. Nope. It's going to be something else, but it will be against St. Paul's. Oh, it is delay game. Or false start, maybe. It's false start. That'll be the penalty to knock St. Paul's back.
There's certainly
Second and 10.
Some things to clean up at halftime. Coach is not going to be happy with these keeping false starting multiple times.
Here's McQuarrie, a pass left side. Corcoran is covered, but he's got the ball, and it's a touchdown. There were 2 men on him, both of which somewhat peeled off in the end zone there, and Corcoran hauls in his second pass of the game, and it is 27-0 St. Paul's.
The wind blew that camera as fast as that play happened, so if anyone missed that play, I apologize, but you're starting to see the 2 sides of this offensive unit. In the last few games, we've only really had to run the ball to have some amazing success. We're starting to see Parker show his amazing talent, unleashing some deep bombs to the corner.
PAT good on this one. Yes, the wind, it is whipping, and it's coming across from the end zone to our left to right. So right when Corcoran was about to catch that ball, he threw it up the left side, and Joey hauled it in. And it's 28-0 right now. St. Paul's here with 5:46 to go, and the 4th score of the game, 3rd of this quarter. Last game was a low-scoring one for SPS, as I mentioned off the top. They won 7-6, only having to put the ball in the end zone once versus Berkshire, and capitalize on the Bears' missed extra point. But here they are right back to their usual, racking up the points. St. Paul's averaging at about 30.5 points per game. And they're at 28 here with some room before halftime. Here's I will kick away. Caught down at the 5-yard line. Knocked back is, or getting free, sorry, is Michael Daring. And Michael Daring has some space to run. Still going, taken down by Vinny Rizzolo. I thought the Big Red had him inside the 20-yard line, but Daring gets free and pops his way up to the 45. So that time, Proctor really did find a hole in the St. Paul's kicking defense. And that is where they will begin. Handoff here, and a good run by Proctor.
It's definitely not time for St. Paul's to take a breath and relax. They have to finish this half. They have to finish this game. There's a lot of game left. Anything can happen as well as that kind of score. We've seen a couple plays in a row now where it seems like St. Paul's has already put the W on their column.
Ezra Jennifer with the run there.
Yep. Nice hit there. Darn the ball just fell right to the running back's hands on the ground.
So Jennifer with a nice 9-yard run, and then nearly fumbles the ball there, but does pick up the first down. Clock running here as Proctor in the SPS end right now. Betchak, here's a pass right side, and it is intercepted by Corcoran. He's still on his feet, running around, comes loose over to the right side, cuts in. Corcoran, stutter step, moving up towards the 45. All the white jerseys in there trying to take him down, and they finally get it now. We see our first turnover of the game after a near fumble by Proctor and an interception there thrown by Betchak. Joey Corcoran just all over the field right now.
He's definitely doing it on both sides of the ball.
2 touchdowns and an interception for number 8. And they will take him off here for the first play of this drive for St. Paul's. Amazing how long he was able to stay on his feet. I felt like the whole Proctor team had to converge towards the middle of the field to take him down there in the end. Just absolutely relentless there. So 4:16 to go. Ball on the 45, and St. Paul's will begin from there. Handoff goes to Mather. He's taken down on a 5-yard gain. Corcoran seems a bit distressed on the bench right now. I don't know if he was taken off the field by the official and unhappy about it, but head coach.
I think Joey was a little frustrated with how those tackles were playing out in that last carry. I think he's not too happy with the Proctor D, but as Coach Fantasy was just saying to him, like, how else do you expect them to take you down? They can't stop him, so he must have said something to a ref. There was no penalty, but the ref was not happy with him.
McQuarrie pass up and ahead. It was too far in front of Ty Hoey going up the left side. But yeah, he did have a very animated conversation with Coach Vanders. He was doing most of the talking. Yeah, it did seem like the official had to take him off the field. No penalty though, so nothing really goes down in the books about that one. 3rd and 5 here for the Big Red. chilly and windy Saturday. The sun already beginning to set as the shadows are creeping in on the left side. You can see him right now. Sun setting behind us. McCory steps back. He wheels it out right side for Mather, who's got it. Cuts towards the inside. Marshall Mather is taken down inside the 10 with another big gain for the Big Red.
Surprising play calls from Coach Fantasy here. 2 back-to-back passes when St. Paul's is comfortably up with the half, 3 minutes away. I think Coach sees his opportunity to get one last score here and then call the dogs out in the second half.
Well, the pass game has been working. Only in one incompletion there, and that was the pass ahead of Ty Hoey a few plays ago. But so far, every pass that McCory has made has been right on the money. Mather hauling that one in right there. The handoff and a big hit, and the ball comes loose. Not sure who was the ball carrier, whether that was Mather. I believe it was, but whoever it was hit hard, lit up inside the 5-yard line there. St. Paul's does manage to recover. That ball came loose in the scrum, and actually will get a gain out of it. So right on the doorstep here again. Oh, he switches sides. The handoff goes to Sacklad, pushing forward. He's not going to get there, though. He stood up about a yard out by the Proctor defense, holding strong. That'll bring up 3rd down with 1 to go before another SPS score.
Sacklad just a great captain, he's a 3-sport athlete, very big. To stop him at the goal line like that, it requires 2 or 3 guys to get him off that tackle.
Sacklad football, hockey, and lacrosse player. He's out there for this play once again. Handoff to Mather, and he's not going to get in. Taken down once again by Proctor.
It's a nice defensive play there. They called that right. They got into that backfield quickly.
So that'll set up a 4th and 5 here for St. Paul's on the goal line. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do. Do they take the gimme and kick the field goal? Or they try to punch one more in and try to see if they don't, if Proctor can go from their own end.
I think Coach is going to run this down as long as he can before getting the delay game penalty and call timeout and assess his options. There it is. There's the timeout.
Talked about,
He's going to talk about it with his team.
Took about 6 or 7 seconds off the clock there, and yes, you're right, they will talk it over. And the huddle down to our right. Certainly not a lose-lose situation, that's for certain.
Definitely want to get some points one way or the other here.
And whether how many points he wants, percentage-wise, is really the question. We're about 50 seconds from halftime. St. Paul's leading 28-0 over Proctor. The big storyline is a win here today, and we will for certain know that St. Paul's will be playing in a bowl game next weekend, which will be a historic and big moment for this school and this program.
The big question is, are you going to get asked back to do next week's game?
Fingers crossed. They got to show it on the field here first, and they're doing just that. They're working towards the bowl game, and I'm working towards the bowl game. So. Same goal in mind here. 4th down and 5, and after St. Paul's took their timeout, Proctor will do the same. Both teams taking some halftime before the halftime here. A little bit of a break.
Remind Ryan, you've done so much hockey, game calling, and you're doing a great job in football. What do you see as a big difference between the two sports as far from this angle?
From a broadcasting standpoint, it's the time of play. Football, you don't, there's about 30, 40 seconds, maybe a minute and a half tops for a big play. But for hockey, it's continuous, it's ongoing, and you don't have a lot of dead air to fill. So you'll hear, some moments where it's just quiet, and you'll hear the fans below us chatting and talking between plays, whereas you don't really get that in hockey. There's only so much time you have to really fill on your own. There's pluses to both sports, and I enjoy doing it. A lot of fun. Looks like St. Paul's is going to go for this one here on 4th and 5. Mather lined up to McQuarrie's right. And McQuarrie, he'll step back. He's one out left side. It's caught in the pylon's knocked down, but the ball is not caught. Not sure who was looking. Okay, I think it was Sleeman. It was Sleeman who was the intended target on that one. So a turnover on down for St. Paul's. And Proctor will go back the other way, starting from deep in their own end at the 5.
Proctor, you got to go for everything here. Take it and go into the locker room at halftime down 20. Right play. You're going to see something quickly. Back the playbook. How do you get points?
I was going to say send a message that you're not done, but they will take the knee. And look like they're going to run out the clock.
That's definitely a safe play. I still would have.
I agree with it.
You don't want to be.
I agree.
You don't want to set anything up where you're going to lose points, but trying for something with down 28-0.
100%.
That's why I'm in the broadcast.
You and me both. So the clock will tick down, and St. Paul's will head to the locker room. They lead it 28-0 here as zeros are on the scoreboard. Corcoran with 2 scores, Mather a score, and Bussey a score. 28-zip. St. Paul's at the half over Proctor. We'll see you back here for the second half in just a bit.
One thing that usually happens, I've seen it a few times, is the coaches meet and the opposing coaches meet and decide if they're going to go with running time in the second half. And that's something St. Paul's is usually on the other end of over the years with us being down. And so it's new territory for us. I don't know what, it's usually up to the team that's losing what they want. So I'm not sure what Proctor will decide. We'll find out, but it could be a running clock for the second half, or Proctor could try to put something together and make a big comeback.
I would be shocked to see if Proctor just gives up and says, yeah, we want running time here in our final game of the season. And I think they owe it to those seniors that they get to play their full final half, no matter if the score reaches a certain point, then it automatically goes there, I think. But I would be shocked to see Proctor do that. Oh. We will see, though. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Snow flurries coming in as we begin the second half here at Guzzo Family Field. Ryan Murphy and Chris Smith along with you. It's St. Paul's 28 and Proctor 0 here as we begin the final half of the regular season for both sides. St. Paul's scores have come from Joey Corcoran. He has 2 catches, and Malcolm Bussey has a run along with Marshall Mather. And they are comfortably ahead here to begin second half on a chilly Saturday. The regular season wraps up here with this one. St. Paul's maybe begins to look towards the playoff now.
Ryan, we were just looking at scores from across New England. What have you seen as in your analysis of what next weekend's bowl system might look like?
So typically, you see a balance between A teams, B teams, and C teams in Class A, B, and C. So right now, the leaders in Class A are Choate. They are 8-0. They play Deerfield later today and are likely to win that one. Brunswick, Taft, and Avon. They round out the top 4 in Class A with Suffield coming in 5th there. So Suffield probably on the edge. They are likely to win this Saturday as well. In Class B, St. Sebastian's beat Thayer. That pretty much locks up a spot for them in the playoffs. And Belmont Hill is leading Governors 45-15. Both those teams with victories will be 7-1. That seems to be the magic record, the 7-1 record to get into the playoffs. St. Paul's, of course, a win here locks up a undefeated regular season, and that will for sure put them in. Pingree also defeated Dexter. They are technically undefeated. They have a tie, though. They're 7-0-1 as we get the kick away to begin the second half. Running up is Michael Dering. He's taken down at the 30-yard line. So Pingree and, as of the moment, St. Paul's look to be getting the bids from Evergreen Conference, or the Evergreen League, Clements and Boniford divisions. Pingree, the number 1 team in the Boniford, and St. Paul's, the number 1 team in the Clements.
Some people might want to see a straight-up Evergreen championship game as a bowl game next weekend. I don't know if that would happen, but
that would be an interesting matchup.
Actually hang an actual Evergreen banner at one of those schools.
Indeed, and you get the bowl championship, and you could say we are the outright champion of our league, which you don't see very often. There's another scenario in Class A. Taft and Avon, they are both in the Erickson division. They're both neck and neck right now, and it's a possibility we see both of those teams play in a bowl game as well for a conference championship. Brunswick also in the mix there. All 3 of those squads in the Erickson. So makes for some interesting matchups next weekend. It's always fun, no matter what. As we
the other way to go is a possible reunion with some old ISL friends of ours.
Yes, and I'm sure there are many people here at this school who would love to see some of that old rivalries rekindled. Eric Nemirovsky with the big run there you saw on the left side. He made it up across the 50-yard line. That'll be good for a first down for Proctor. And they'll be good at the 48. Storylines abound, and you got to love that, especially from our media standpoint at the moment.
Well, we'll certainly know more tonight and tomorrow as this all unfolds. Just getting to a bowl game is exciting enough. Who cares who we play? It's been a banner season. It's very exciting for the players, the coaches, and alumni.
Terrell Brown on the run for a 1-yard gain.
And again, we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves here. There's
Of course
still a lot
not.
of game left, and while a bowl game still might be there for us if we somehow lost today, we certainly should just call this game and not play it too far in the future.
Indeed, and we'll be calling it right now from the 47-yard line. Proctor at a second down. They will take the ball on the ground. It'll be another run for them, and a good one there by Ezra Jennifer. It's like a gain of, looks like bigger gain to me, but that's maybe because he was lined up behind the line of scrimmage. That wind really cooking in now from our left. You see the leaves are blowing up all over the field. Third down here for Proctor. Proctor has 3 Evergreen championships over their many years. They won their latest one in 2012. Before that, 2008 and 2006. Those Evergreen championships got them to a bowl game as the number 1 team from the division. Here's a big run by Nemirovsky. He powers up to close to the first down marker. Did he get it? No, and a flag comes in after the play too. Players might have been jarring after the end of the play. And I'm not sure who's getting the penalty here. Looks like it's going to be on the defense. That would be St. Paul's. They're marching backwards. Yeah, so Proctor will move forward, and they'll get a first down from the 35-yard line. No, sorry. 25-yard line. I think it was 10-yard penalty against the Pelicans. First and 10 and a pitch. Here's Jennifer getting through. He's up towards that first down, and he has got it. First and goal for Proctor. Ezra Jennifer coming out. Proctor making a statement here on the first drive of the second half. Their first, I believe this is their first time in the red zone. Not quite first and goal, as I might have thought. They're about 3 yards from that, so they're on the 13-yard line. Another run here from Ezra, and he's taken down for no gain. Second down coming up, but Proctor looking to get on the board here for the first time. St. Paul's leading 28-0 as the shadows creep across the field. Game start was at 2 o'clock, 3:15 right now. Here's a run left side. Nemirovsky taken down, or rather thrown to the field there with a big push. But he has gained about 2 yards. I thought he got the first down there. They're going to mark him about a yard short. So on the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Proctor. To make a statement that they are not finished here in this one, down by 4 scores to St. Paul's. Lined up is Jennifer, and they fake it to him. It's Nemirovsky. He's got some room on the right side, driving down there, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Proctor. On the first drive of the second half, here come the Hornets. They are on the board. The fake to Jennifer and the pitch to Nemirovsky. He runs it in, and there's nobody even close for St. Paul's on the far side of the field. 28-6. Dashing there off the field full speed was Gamlin, the freshman from Georgia. I think he was the 12th guy on the field. Another issue off this PAT was up and good, but not good to the officials.
Might even have 13 on there at one point.
So why are they calling this PAT back? You would think if Proctor made it, then they made it, and then
Get a little closer, they might want to go for 2. They need points.
the penalty against St. Paul's. And we're going to line up to maybe do this again or go for 2. We'll see. I think they're going to do it again, though. No.
They lined up to
Proctor is going for two. Pass out left side. It is dropped by Ezra Jennifer. Standing still, can't make the catch, though. No extra points there.
That worked out in St. Paul's favor. They certainly regroup on the sideline and get ready for a long second half here. This game was far from over, and Proctor just drove down relatively easily and punched in for six.
Interesting tactic maybe there by St. Paul's. They somehow managed to take a penalty and negate an extra point from going on the board for Proctor, but you're 100% right there. That is a statement play there by the Hornets. And I know I've said that about 3 times now, but...
Well, 3 more statement plays and St. Paul's is in trouble.
Indeed.
Certainly have to be ready for an onside kick here. Team's practicing it yesterday. You got the hands group out there. You got to be ready, assuming Proctor moves the ball a lot the second half.
And there it is, a little squibber, and the Big Red fall on it. I'm not sure who that was up there. Interesting formation, and it was Sleeman, I think. Yes, it was, who fell on the ball and managed to keep it in his belly, even with all 11 guys for Proctor running right at him in an arrowhead formation.
You got to get on that ball and stay down because there's a group of people coming for you and put you at Parker or so. You got your head buried in the grass.
Indeed, he was not going to look up for the life of him. St. Paul's will take over at midfield. You don't want to end up down the road, that's for sure. Zach Ladd will switch sides here. The senior captain. The snap goes to Marshall Mather, and Mather is loose. Marshall Mather up the left side. Nobody's going to catch him. And just like that, St. Paul has 6 points right back. Touchdown, Big Red. How about that?
Marshall's speed is certainly amazing. He's so strong and thick that he can get through that first couple tackles, breaks some arms off of him, and then he breaks his speed out and no one can catch him. And now I'm starting to see why Proctor would have gone for two. They knew that they needed points. And now we just need St. Paul's to be professional. They need to stop getting these silly personal foul penalties against them. And they need to get to the end of this game without any injuries and without any major penalties that would hurt them next weekend.
They need to minimize the little things that have shown here today and, play smart. Up by, well, they gained the points lost back. And so Proctor unable to hold down the St. Paul's offense. So this drive should be interesting coming back. We're quick to say, well, we're right back where we started from, but it'll be interesting to see how Proctor responds to that one after they come out and say, we're not done. And St. Paul's matches them stride for stride, almost quite literally. Mirzai will kick it away from the 40. And it's a low pick kick. It bounces up and over the first receiver there. Taken away here by Proctor. A couple blocks. And then finally the takedown happens just inside that 30. So Proctor will start from their own end, the 29-yard line, to be specific. They had their first score of the game on the run. And we will look to that as well. Nemirovsky switches sides. He gets the pitch, cuts around one. Charging up there, he's hurled down by Corcoran. almost with a bit of an attitude there. Joey throws him to the pitch. So second down coming up here. Looks like it's about 6 yards to go, and Corcoran will come off. On in his place is Ty Hoey. Hoey from New Canaan, Connecticut. Here's the snap, and the run is coming. Look at this. First down for Proctor. I think that's Oscar Bush. I believe I didn't catch the... If it's 23, it is Bush. With a big run there for Proctor, flipping the field onto the 49-yard line. Usually the runs have been switching between two seniors, Ezra Jennifer and Eric Nemirovsky. But the freshman there, Oscar Bush, getting in on the action.
Take a flag thrown by the line judge here. Maybe an offensive procedural play. I'm not sure which way they're going to back this up.
Well, Proctor is backing up, and St. Paul's is backed up as well. Maybe they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, I think they put the flag back in their pocket there.
So both teams back up, and it turns out none of them had to move at all. So we will have a first down for Proctor at their 49-yard line. The wind's really picking up. They were whipping earlier today, but shaking the press box now. Pass coming here. It's out the left side, and it is caught by Terrell Brown. A reception over here by the St. Paul sideline. That'll be good for about a 6-yard gain. Second and 4. Big pass there from Betchick to Brown. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but I'm more thankful than ever that we're in this nicely enclosed box. Although it is a tin box and we don't have the heating, Jennifer on the run there, it is certainly much more comfortable to be in here. I mean, you can see all the leaves flying around in the air. Jennifer short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd and short. To say it's 3rd and 1 might be even pushing it. As they line up on the 40-yard line. Proctor looking to punch it through for another first down. And it's a handoff to Jennifer. He will do just that. Left side run, and it is a first down for the Hornets. They continue just to steadily move their way.
Well, Mullins Grant, who had the injury earlier in the first half, he's on the sideline with his helmet off. He's clearly not coming back in today. His absence has left a big hole in the defensive line, and Proctor is exploiting it.
That is a good point. One of the top linemen for St. Paul's, as we mentioned. Here's the run by Bush, and he is taken down for loss. Oscar Bush was going nowhere from the start on that one.
Good secondary help there.
Indeed. That knocks Proctor back 5. No, maybe a little bit less than 5. 3 yards. So this will be 2nd and 13. From the 40. Here's Betchuk, and he has to throw it away. He was under quite a bit of pressure. Sacklad got in there and nearly took Betchuk down. Betchuk getting up unhappy, and we hear some cries from the Proctor fans. They thought he was a hit a bit late there by Sacklad. The officials did not agree. No flag on the play. Betchak avoids the sack, but doesn't get anything done in the offensive direction. And Proctor has stalled here the last 2 plays, 3rd and 13.
Zach has shown his abilities on both sides of the ball all day today. He's been amazing in setting up blocks. He's had a couple nice runs, but defensively, he's really had a big game today, making some big plays.
That one there, as big as ever. Here's Betchuk. He pitched it outside, and Bush is going to go for a run. Oscar Bush pushing it up there, and he gets to within about 6 or 5 of the first down marker. Gain of roughly 10. Maybe a little less than that. I overestimated to begin with. I thought he got out around the 30. He got out after that, though. So this is 4th and, 6. 2 minutes to go. If Proctor is looking to get back in this game, I think they need to do things a bit more quickly. They are working upfield, but not doing so in an efficient manner. Here's Betchuk. That'll do for efficiency. It is caught! On the left side, getting loose was Terrell Brown. And that'll bring Proctor into the red zone. Caught on the 12-yard line by Brown. First down, Hornets.
Nice pass there. You're right about the Proctor timing. They need to get on this ball a little faster, a little hurry-up offense, and maybe some more passes like that. So you're right back in.
There is no urgency in the huddle, that's for certain, as we just saw there. 1:40 ticking down here in this 3rd quarter. It's a pitch outside Nemirovsky. He's turning on the gas. Nemirovsky up to the first down. He's got it, pushing towards the goal line. He can't get there, but he does get the first and goal. And Proctor will set up about 3 yards out.
Gotta give Proctor credit here. The first 2 drives they've had in the second half, they've pushed down the field both times. They're not trying to leave here just too quite yet. They're working hard, and they're gonna push St. Paul's as hard as they can.
They are very much here right now, that's for certain. And they are knocking on the door. 35-6. St. Paul still maintaining a comfortable lead. Trying not to let this one get away. Here's Jennifer with a run. He's in. Touchdown, Proctor. So teams trading scores now. Proctor opens the half with a touchdown. St. Paul's answers, but Proctor right back. And they will try to do what they could not last time and get an extra point or 2 extra points. The 2-point conversion here levels us to even 7s again. And it looks like they will go for 2. Jennifer and Nemirovsky. Jennifer specifically lined up behind the quarterback. But it's a pitch outside to Nemirovsky, and he is stopped short.
That's 2 back-to-back 2-point conversion stops by the St. Paul's defense, which has certainly helped keep some points off the board.
Interesting to see. St. Paul's has now stopped 3 of the last 3 extra points available. Berkshire failed to convert on theirs last game, and Proctor has failed to put it either in the end zone or through the uprights both times today. So we'll see about this onside kick once more. St. Paul's 35 and Proctor 12. Here from Guzzo Family Field, Ryan Murphy and Chris Smith along with you. St. Paul's looking to lock down that bowl game berth. Proctor will line up wide, and the kicker will be Hildner, and he just punts it away as normal, so that we don't see them go to the onside kick this time. Mirza had the reception there.
On the St. Paul side, there is a flag down. Might be a procedural play. I'm not sure, but they had the hands group up front ready to handle the onside kick, and they had someone back ready for over the top. Looks like it is a penalty against Proctor, and that should give St. Paul a few more yards. Offsides on Proctor. I think coach will take that and not free kick it.
I just think it's interesting that St. Paul's went for that, or Proctor used the onside kick when there was more time, but now as we see time dwindling here in the third quarter, 1:06 on the clock, they go with the full punt.
You can hear the Proctor captain telling his guys, one more touchdown, we're back in it.
And he's right about that. It is a 3-score game right now. Here's Mather with a run. We saw what happened there last time, and he's taken down just outside, about the 46. It is a first down for SPS. And the last time I'm referring to is Mather's run from about that same area. Actually around about the 50-yard line area, from the 49 all the way downhill into the end zone. On the first play after Proctor scored. A lot of leaves coming off the trees today. It's almost mesmerizing watching them coming across the playing field. Here's Sacklad. He powers up and ahead. They faked it to Mather, and tight end John Sacklad runs up and ahead.
To Sacklad set up in a tailback position there. That is not a fun sight to see 88 coming down on you. Like that.
No, it is not.
Defender.
Timeout on the play here. I'm not sure who
That brings us down to the fourth
it
quarter.
was. Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, that'll do it on the third quarter. So teams trade scores on every possession they have had. Proctor with 2 and St. Paul's with 1. And it's now 35-12 with the fourth quarter coming right on up.
Certainly give the Proctor team credit for making a big push in that third quarter. They came out at halftime. They saw some holes to exploit, and they did. A couple unfortunate missed 2-point conversions, which is good for St. Paul's because Proctor could be even closer to making a major comeback here. And I think their players are going to keep pushing hard. St. Paul's is not done with this game yet. They have to work hard one more quarter, and then hopefully put it in the hands of the whole committee and see what happens next weekend. They got one more good quarter of football, and finish up this amazing season.
I certainly do not think Proctor is done in this one. And of course, those words can come back to bite me at any point, and St. Paul's can win this in a landslide fourth quarter, but I'm willing to go say that. And the ball is loose here on the Mather run, and it looks like Proctor's got it. I believe that was Marshall Mather on the run, and the ball was stripped free.
Well, as we both said, that Proctor wasn't going to stop playing hard. They got exactly what they needed, and St. Paul's is up against this right now. They have to respond here with the great defensive stand. And the last 2 possessions Proctor's had, they very easily driven down the field and scored 2 touchdowns.
So this is a true test here, 35-12, and Proctor takes over just south of midfield. A handoff to Jennifer. He gets up and ahead, maybe a 6-yard gain on that one. He'll take the run. But a score here for Proctor makes it hopefully a 2-score game, and we have seen them drive into the end zone. past 2 times they've had the ball. This is the series of plays to watch, and it's a pitch back. Here's Brown taking it himself, and he's knocked back. Terrell Brown on the run, and it's a loss of roughly maybe 4, I would think, there. Indeed, it is a 4-yard loss, so 3rd and 8 for Proctor from the 50-yard line. It would be huge if they could convert on this one. We will see. Here's Betchuk. He passes left side. Ooh! Just out of the hands of Brown over there. Over there also was Sleeman. He might have knocked it away. Fourth down now for Proctor. 8 yards to go. And I highly doubt they kick this ball away here with 10:26 to go.
It's a big stand here for St. Paul's if they can get this ball back and quiet down this push.
Indeed. They line up in the kicking formation, it looks like. And play whistle dead. It was going to be a fake, you could tell. And that might be a huge timeout. And I think Proctor just shot themselves in the foot, actually. They took the timeout, but Scott Whitkos over on the right side.
That number 12 streaking down the side.
Yes, he was. He was streaking up on the right, and he gave away that was going to be a fake from far and wide, so they might as well just go for it here as the element of surprise is gone coming out of the huddle.
Down by that many, trying to hide something isn't necessary. Like, line up with your best guys, get in the formation you want to be in, and make a 4th down conversion. I think trying to sneak something in there isn't the best play.
Well, I think that's what we'll see them do now, but as we saw, and maybe that was because the Big Red players all heard the whistle before Whitkos did, but he did have some room over here on the right side.
So St. Paul's is going to play tight D here. They're not even going to put anybody back. So if there was even a kick, they're just going to let it go down there.
They're in the kick formation again. And back for is Betchuk, who also serves as a quarterback. Here's another fake to Nemirovsky, and he's hauled down. So they went with the fake again. St. Paul's knew it was coming, and hopping all over it was Marshall Mather. St. Paul's will take over right around the 40.
Great play by Marshall, I'm sure. They had film on Proctor, and they had seen something like that before because he knew right where to go.
Indeed he did, and I just don't understand why you would go with the fake. They went with a different kind of fake. Betchuk is the kicker and the quarterback, and he received the ball on the first fake before the timeout. But Nemirovsky, a running back, it was snapped straight to him that time. So yes, they did go with a different play, but still a fake, and both times it doesn't work. There's a handoff and a run there by, I think that was Rizzolo, actually.
Injured player for Proctor's down, slowly getting up. It's got to be hard on a team with such a small bench to, at this stage of the game, play both sides of the ball, very few sides. They must be tired, and then to get and a helmet to the knee, bringing in someone off the bench has got to be hard to do.
You have to play conservative football, and off goes Kenny Fusco. He's a senior as well. 6'2", 225, a big man for them. He has a lot of duty on the line.
A nice methodical running attack here, bringing as much of the
9:46 to go here in this one. And they lead 35-12, and it is another run. Mather with a lane, and he's got the first down. Marshall Mather getting through, powering his way up there. It took 3 players to take him down. Michael Daring could not do the job for Proctor, and Marshall Mather with a big gain. This might not be first and goal, as I think they'll mark him down around the 12-yard line. So 1st and 10, close to the goal.
Marshall's a little slow getting up there. It looks a little like he's fine, just a little cramped. He's been working hard all day. He's certainly been running further than most people out there. I think just shutting him down for the rest of the afternoon might be a smart call.
Run up the middle here. We've not seen as much of Malcolm Bussey as we usually do. It has been Marshall Mather carrying the ball here. St. Paul's maybe starting to think about conserving those 2 guys for next weekend now. I think it's maybe safe to say here with 9 minutes to go. Yeah, you never want to jump to conclusions. We have another injured player down on the field.
And another Proctor player down, holding his head. The helmet came right off. I don't know if he got a cleat or fingers to the eye or something. I hope it's nothing serious. He's fine. Caught a fingers to the eye there. Medical staff right out there to help him.
Dr. Bassey, they are doctor at St. Paul's, and the Proctor trainer help him off the field. He is walking off. He's holding his face, so I think that doesn't look like it's anything too serious. You see Mather here. I don't know if he's in the frame. He's not in the frame, but off to the right, he's sitting on the bench. Out on the field for this one. He will rest up right now with 8:55 to go. The handoff, and close to the goal line. Did he get it? I believe that was Perea with the run, and I think he's going to have a first down. Yes, sir. So Jorge Perea getting some running back duties. He's had 9 carries the last 4 games, and one of them a touchdown. He is lined up behind Parker McQuarrie right now. Van Elst and Corcoran, or rather Corcoran and Van Elst are the wide receivers out to the right. The handoff to Perea. He is in there. And touchdown, Big Red. Perea steps into the end zone. And it is now 41-12 St. Paul's. I think that will be the straw that broke the camel's back for Proctor. After a couple injuries, St. Paul's moves their way methodically down the field, and Jorge Perea gets to score. Mirzai's extra point is good. This is now 42-12, and St. Paul's has opened up a 30-point lead. Mirzai's kick. I don't know what he's angry about. He's
I think
hurling.
wind, I think, might have blown the ball off the holder there, and he line drives it into 10 yards into the Proctor.
Yeah, the kick was certainly low. Took a few bounces.
A nice little pooch kick there just to get it out of the air, to get it down the field, but that ball might have been moving at the time of the kick.
That's an interesting thought there. Yeah. His past 2 kicks have been rather low. I believe the last one he did was a bit on the ground too, took a couple bounces, so maybe that wind is really playing a part in this game. Here's Betchak, a liner, and it's dropped by Jennifer. I thought he had it in a basket there, but Ezra Jennifer with a drop last second. He was covered well. 2nd and 10 here for St. Paul's. Or for Proctor, rather. For the St. Paul's defense, but for the Proctor offense. I guess it's a matter of perspective, but it is Proctor with the ball, so we say it's their 2nd and 10 here, and they line up at the 48-yard line. Here's Betcher again. Here's another long pass, and it's just ahead. Actually, far ahead. Scott Whitcoast, the sophomore, was running up the right side there. He was for certain the intended target. Proctor airing the ball out. They're trying to get a big play or two to match St. Paul's score just there from Perea. But time dwindling on this one. If they would like to stage any sort of a comeback or an upset. Here's Betchuk again. This one is caught on the other side of the first down line. It will be a first down for Terrell Brown. He makes the catch over the middle and then cuts right on the play around the 40-yard line. Inside that 40-yard line. So on 3rd down, the 3rd of those passes works out for Proctor. Proctor taking their time getting the last player on the field here. I think about 5 seconds there before number 15, Henry Bitchark. Sorry, not the last player. He's the quarterback, so he's getting the play call, rather. Here's Betcher again, taking a look around, and that'll be intentional grounding, I think. He was in the vicinity of getting sacked and just tossed the ball on the ground. And I don't know the rules surrounding intentional grounding, but between the hash marks, no penalty called.
I see a flag. I think they're saying he was out of pocket there.
Well, there's possibility there.
You want to be careful when you have the quarterback wrapped up. They are protecting quarterbacks more and more these days. You don't want to make a tackle that will cause a personal foul.
And I think that's why we didn't see the tackle there. Smart play by St. Paul's to maybe negate a possible penalty. I think you'd see some guys do that. Not thinking. They think they've got the quarterback under wraps. And here's Betchuk, another heave. Over there for Whitcoast. It's a jump ball. And it's swatted away. Possibly off the hand of Mirzai. Good coverage by him. It'll bring up another 3rd and 10 here for Proctor. They converted last time. And they got to get all their deep receivers to hustle back to the line of scrimmage for this one. 6:48 on the clock. Time ticking a bit slower here in the 4th quarter, as it typically does. Betchuk will line his side up here, looking for a big play. No secret they've been going to the pass, and here they go again. Betchuk under some trouble, and he is sacked. Betchuk taken down, and that will do it. 4th down coming up. It'll be a loss of 6. Not sure who got the sack in there for St. Paul's.
Definitely had first contact. I don't know if he'd get credit for the full sack there, but he was first one in on that tackle.
A couple of guys were in there for SPS. I think this will be a punt away from Proctor.
Sacknut's done a lot today that won't show up on the box score, but we see those gold fleece flying around a lot. And balls on both sides of the ball.
And that
It's usually the case every weekend with him.
he is a leader on this team, both on the field and off. Proctor's going for it. Betchuk swirls outside. He's got a pass over to the left side. A jump, and no catch is made. Good coverage by St. Paul's. Trevor Spaulding was the wide receiver out left. And Ty Hoey, I think, was in coverage.
Great play there by Proctor. They saw a one-on-one on the side with no help from the safety. The receivers just didn't come down, but they did hit him in the hand. Nice play by St. Paul.
He was close. And the receiver's down after the play. As I mentioned, that is Spaulding. I thought I saw him get up, but he's back down once again. So we will wait to hear another injury timeout. Our 3rd of this quarter just for Proctor.
Even with the score the way it is, coaches are still coaching every play. They're still letting the guys know they can do a little bit better every time. And I think that's a real testament to why we are 5 minutes and 45 seconds away from an undefeated season and a whole. These coaches work so hard every day. The film breakdown they do, the film review sessions, and just the constant talking with the guys about how they can be better every play.
It is. It's an exciting sentence to hear that they, for all those here on St. Paul's campus, there's been so much excitement, and this football team, one of the pride and joys of this school this fall term, and they're 5 minutes, 5.5 away from an undefeated season, and it means so much to both these players who've worked so hard and the coaches over the years, and those seniors as well here. As I mentioned, this is their final regular season game, but to go out in a bowl game berth after 4 years, doing what many after them, or before them, I should say, have not been able to do is got to be something special. And it is special. Here's a handoff to Perea. He pushes his way ahead. Jorge Perea, he was taken down after a big run. He grabbed the Proctor player, grabbed the jersey to haul him down, but he was gaining momentum inside that 40-yard line as he breaks through the Proctor defense with a big run. There for St. Paul's to move the chains and closer to another score. It'll be first down from the 35.
I haven't had a chance to look at the scores from around the league since our halftime, but there's a lot of storylines out there, including the St. Paul's one. When the rest of the league sees this score posted on Twitter, on Max Preps, whatever it might be, I think you'll get a big reaction out of a little bit of fear. Nobody wants to play this team next weekend. With the threats we have on the running game, passing game, I would have to think that we would be one of those teams no one wants to go up against.
I agree 100%. That was Perea with another run. Tomorrow is the coaches' conference call, so they all get on the phone and talk over who they think will be playing, and we know for certain this team will not only be in the mix, but they'll be in the mix as one of the top teams to qualify for a bowl game.
After hearing your research and your analysis on what you think the might be able to help them out.
I'd certainly love to hear it. Actually, it would be fun to have it somewhat broadcasted. Yeah. You should offer those press passes into the coaches conference call. Break the news. Could live tweet the conference call. There's Pereira with another run.
No, that's how you build chatter and excitement around.
Indeed.
Around prep football.
Indeed, and especially with the prep football in the bowl format, it is a lot of it takes place behind the scenes. In other leagues, you see you win this many games against these opponents, you're in. Like there's no doubt about it. But football does leave a lot of maybes with maybe this, maybe that. So it is more interesting. I mean, playoffs are interesting no matter what the sport is, but football just has that added bit of storyline of who knows.
And what they also do is they take into account if you went to a bowl game or not in the last few years. This is kind of like a bonus. This is a reward. It's not for a New England title. It's not for a class championship. You're going to a bowl game and you're getting an extra game, and that's exciting. The regular season is the real meat of the schedule.
The player down here for St. Paul's, I don't know if it's number 25 Pereira or number 26 Rizzolo. We will wait.
They also love with the bowl games you see over the years, getting some cross-league matchups with an ISL.
Indeed.
Versus an Evergreen, and the Western school versus an Eastern school, maybe a team you might normally not play against. And they also take into account things like take into account things like is the size of school. Does this school have PGs? Does this school not? And they try to make some just great matchups, which will be good games.
So much goes into determining who plays who. Rizzolo, by the way, the player down, he's up and he is fine, as we just saw.
Thanks to my 9-year-old, that looked like, I think I know that. A Fortnite celebration.
Indeed, indeed.
But it made us chuckle.
Always good to have a good laugh. Yes, to your point, I did a little. As I mentioned, I do my research before a game. Gamlin celebrating the tackle over there. I do my research before the game, and over the past couple of years, there's been only one, I think, where conference team plays another team from the same conference. So they don't like to do that. Obviously, if you have one conference that's dominating, then it's a possibility. But so I think it's a very, very, very good chance that we see St. Paul's, rather than take on Pingree, who we talked about earlier as a possible opponent, but for like a Nobles or, I don't know if it's St. Sebastian's or BB&N, one of the ISL teams from up here.
Well, and the ISL has their different tiered leagues as well, and I think we line up really well with Nobles as far as size of school and just the makeup of the rosters, where Belmont Hill, who beat St. Sebastian's, and St. Sebastian's certainly look more like a Choate or a Brunswick school to me. And again, it's a very distant opinion, but viewed from afar. But I think the committee takes that sort of stuff into consideration, and whatever it might be, we have a bowl game next weekend, and that's very exciting for St. Paul's and our players and our coaches, and big congratulations to them. I'm not going to warn Vandersea, but I see a Gatorade bucket getting loaded up, so that certainly should be fun to watch and well-deserved.
10 seconds to go. We see the bit of the excitement. Here comes the Gatorade bucket. Corcoran was jumping around. There it is. This is a game over, folks, and St. Paul's is headed to a bowl game next weekend. They are undefeated. with a 42-12 victory here today over Proctor, and you can let this celebration begin, folks. They're partying in Concord right now as St. Paul's will play next weekend one more time, looking to preserve an undefeated season right now at 7-0. It has been fun, and SPS walks away with a regular season to be proud of no matter what, with a 42-12 victory here today. You saw Mather and Sacklad dump the Gatorade on Coach Vandersea, who is as deserving as any on this football team right now. Both teams will line up and shake hands at midfield, and that will do it for us.
Certainly very exciting to witness this, and next weekend certainly will be special, and everyone should stay tuned to the St. Paul's athletic and football Twitter feeds to find out who we're playing next Saturday.
A historic moment for St. Paul's. They will head to a bowl game next weekend, but until then, my name is Ryan Murphy alongside Chris Smith saying so long from Guzzo Family Field in Concord.